Hi, I'm Joan Stanton, and over the past 25 years, I've had the privilege of working with more than 500 kids, helping them learn to read. Through that experience, I've learned that there's no one size fits all curriculum. What truly makes the difference is focusing on the essential reading skills and filling in any gaps so each child can progress at their own pace. In this video, I'll share some of these key skills and the strategies I've found to be most effective so you can start applying them right away.
You want your child to love reading, whether they're just starting or struggling. But if reading feels hard, they might be guessing words or avoiding books altogether, which is so frustrating as a parent. Now, you've tried to help, but they're still stuck. You're hoping it will just click soon, but deep down, you wonder if they need more support. Maybe your child is still in preschool or kindergarten, and you want to give them a strong start before struggles begin. You know early reading skills lay the foundation for confidence and success. And you don't want to wait and see if they'll catch on later. Instead, you want to make reading feel easy and enjoyable from the start. So no matter where your child is in their reading journey, you're looking for a way that actually works to help them grow. And here's the truth. Kids don't just grow out of reading struggles. Without the right foundation, reading stays hard, leading to frustration, avoidance, and bigger learning gaps over time. I've seen this firsthand with one of my friends. He's an adult now with a full-time job, but he's always hated reading. When he tries to read a book, he gives up on page 2 because it's just too hard. And it's been that way his whole life. He's even joked that he should go through my program. Imagine if he had gotten the right support earlier, how much easier reading and life could have been for him. But you don't have to wait and hope things get better on their own. You can take action now and make a real difference. Ready to start closing those reading gaps today? Schedule a call with me in the calendar I've linked below this video. My friend's struggle with reading isn't unique. Many kids have a hard time breaking words apart to read words accurately, which slows down their fluency and affects their comprehension. And what's shocking, the skills they're missing should have been built before they even started reading books. That's why I created this simple guide to help parents build strong reading foundations as early as 1 or 2. By following this guide, you'll be able to start building reading readiness from an early age through fun, hands-on games. You'll be able to pinpoint exactly what skills your child needs next so they can progress with confidence. And you'll also help your child hear, play with, and manipulate sounds, the first step in reading success. At age 1, kids start to listen to and imitate sounds naturally. This is the perfect time to introduce nursery rhymes and sound play. By age 3, hearing and playing with sounds with games helps them build critical pre-reading skills. Using this guide, you'll know exactly what to do at every stage to set them up for reading success. I'll take you through it now so you know how to help kids start to build strong reading skills from the very beginning. Let's get into early reading skills every child needs beyond learning their ABCs. These listening-based activities will help your child make connections as they learn to read. You'll discover easy ways to help them identify sounds, syllables, words, and sentences. Strong readers and writers start by manipulating sounds. These activities help build that skill in an order that makes sense to their brains without having to read or write words. So let's get into the first 3 skills because they tie together. And as you can see, they start out as an easier skill and each one builds to the next. These skills are ones that can be done starting as early as 2 or 3 years old. So you want to pick 2 non-speech sounds that are the same or different for the sounds listening skill. You'll tell your child, I'm going to play 2 sounds. Listen carefully and tell me if they sound the same or different. And you could even look up sounds on your phone. I'm sure there's apps for that. Have them listen closely and decide if the sounds match or not. So for the next skill, they're going to work on listening for sounds in order. So pick 2 to 4 different sounds to play in a row. For example, a clap, a bell, and a whistle. Then tell your child, I'm going to play some sounds in order. Listen carefully and try to remember each one. After listening, have your child name or imitate the sounds in the correct order. And then moving on to the third listening skill, you're going to teach them to compare sounds. You'll pick 2 letters or words that sound the same or different. So that could be like 2 letters like B and B or B and K. or two words like cat and bat, which are different, or dog and dog, which are the same. Start by saying, I'm going to say two words. Listen carefully and tell me if they sound the same or different. They'll listen closely and decide if the words are the same or different. It's pretty simple at this point. I've added an extension to each one so that you can make it a little more challenging as well as your child learns to play these games. I wanted to tell you not to worry about writing all this down while watching the video. Hang on till the end, and I'll give you a way to access these games for free. Now let's get into the next set of activities. The next three have to do with rhyming. And just like with the listening skills, each one builds on the other. So for hearing and finding rhyming words, I want you to pick a song or a book. And this is something you probably already do, but this is just a really easy way to start. You can choose a book like Llama Llama, Red Pajama, or a song with rhymes like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. As you're reading the book or singing the song to them, have them listen carefully and clap when they hear two words that rhyme. Then have them spot the rhymes. And you should pause after a rhyming pair and ask which words sound the same at the end. For example, star far and llama mama. Then for the next skill, you're going to have them practice matching rhyming words. So you'll gather a few objects or pictures that have clear rhyming pairs. For example, cat and hat, a sun and a bun, a car and a star. Show your child one object or a picture and say its name. For example, this is a cat. Then ask them for the rhyme. Encourage them to think of a word that rhymes with cat, like hat. As they suggest rhyming words, they can match the objects or pictures that rhyme together. Now, moving on to the third rhyming activity. Instead of matching, they're going to make the rhyming words. So once again, you'll pick a word and start with a simple word like cat or sun, just those simple CVC words. You'll take turns making rhymes, and you'll go first. Cat, bat, and then let your child add another. Cat, bat, hat. Keep going until you run out of rhymes. At this point, we have gone over 6 preschool hearing sounds and words activities. There's 3 more to go, and then we'll move into the kindergarten section. And so the next one I want to talk about is a big word. It's called alliteration. And really all it is beginning sounds in words and teaching them to listen for that beginning sound of every word. So what you're going to do is you'll choose a beginning sound for the sound, and you'll gather small objects or pictures that start with different sounds, like sock, sun, spoon for s, and ball, bat, book for b. And then you'll have your child say each word out loud and place it in the correct sound basket or pile. And I like this challenge right here. You can have them make a silly sentence using some of the words like silly socks sit in the sun. So for our next skill, we're going to teach them to count words in sentences. It's to teach them to recognize words separately. So say a simple sentence like, I like pizza, and then have them jump for each word. They'll jump for I, jump for like, jump for pizza, and you'll get a total of 3 jumps. And then ask them, how many words did we jump for? And then try longer sentences as you go and see how they do. And then for the last preschool skill, we're going to practice counting syllables. And this one is a little more tricky because they have to clap and say the parts of the words. So pick a simple word like banana. And you can have them clap, you can have them tap, you can have them stomp, pat their lap, whatever works the best for them, because sometimes the coordination is hard. So have them tap their fingers on the table as they say each syllable. Ba-na-na. 3 taps. Ask them how many syllables, and they'll tell you 3. And then try different words like butterfly. 3 taps. Sun, 1 tap. That one's hard because they want to do sun, but just have them say sun. And then longer one, elephant. 3 taps. Now that we've covered all the preschool skills, you will know if your child is ready to move on to the kindergarten ones. Now, when I taught kindergarten, I would always give a quick assessment at the beginning of every year to check for any gaps. If a child needed extra support, we'd work with them in small groups to make sure they were ready to move on to the next skills. If they did have all of them, then we would move on to these next activities. Remember, the goal is to not create any gaps. This is going to help them so much when they start to read harder words. So, building on counting syllables from preschool, in kindergarten, we're going to teach them to break syllables apart. So, you're going to need to choose words with 2 or more syllables for this activity, like pancake or butterfly. Tell your child, I'm going to say a word in parts. Listen carefully and put them together to figure out the word. So, your child will blend the syllable and say the whole word. Pancake, pancake. And it might seem kind of simple, but having them say the separate parts and then putting it together will help them break words apart later on when they're reading them, like butterfly, butterfly. Okay, the next activity is called onset and rhyme, which means you're blending word parts. To start with, you're going to want to use those CVC words or consonant, vowel, consonant words, very simple words, nothing too hard. And so you're going to write common word endings like at, og, on one set of cards and different beginning sounds like h, d, and on another set. And then you'll spread the cards out face up so they can see them. And your child will pick a beginning sound card and a word ending card and put them together and read the word. So k, at, cat, d, og, dog. And when they're doing this, they might create nonsense words like z, og, zog. And that makes it kind of fun. And then they're like, hey, that's not a word. This one is really important to get because I think it's really hard for kids to sound out those CVC words separately right now. So have them practice this onset and rhyme activity to get them to read those simple words, those CVC words. The next skill that you're going to practice with them is separating word parts. So you'll pick a simple word and break it into an onset, which is the beginning sound, and the rhyme, which is the rest of the word. Example, h, at, ig. And then tell your child, I'm going to say a word in parts. Listen carefully and put them together to figure out the word. And your child will blend the sounds and say the whole word. H, at, cat. All right, now that we've finished going through the kindergarten hearing sounds in words, we're going to move to the first grade section. And then we're almost ready. The first skill for first grade is identifying single sounds in words. And you'll say a word like dog and have the children listen and identify the first sound in dog. Duh. What's the last sound in dog? G. And what's the middle sound in dog? Ah. Now, you notice that we did the first and last sounds, and then we went to the middle, because the middle sounds, the vowels are the hardest. So as they do this, I want you to have them add movement to this. And then they're going to point to the head. The first sound is duh. The middle sound is ah. And the last sound is g. And they'll point to their feet. Okay, so they'll point to their head for duh. They'll point to their waist for the middle sound, ah. And to their feet for the last sound, which is g. And it makes it more visual. And then you'll try different words with it. H, a, th, or I. So the next one you're going to do is teach them to blend sounds and to make words. If you notice, these are getting a little more difficult. So you'll pick a CVC word like pig and say each sound separately. P, I, g. And while they're doing it, you can have them tap a finger on the table or their arm for each sound. It's easy just to tap it on the table, but when you do it with your arm, it's P, I, g. And they move down their arm. And then after tapping, they say the whole word fast, pig. And then you can use more words like fun, top, and bed. Now, the second to last activity that we're going to talk about is taking sounds in words apart. We're still using CVC words, and we're going to choose a simple word like dog, and every time they say a sound, they'll jump forward. D, jump. Ah, jump. G, jump. and then they'll blend it together. When they're done, they'll just say dog. And then you can try it with more words like cat, run, and sun. Now, the last skill that we're going to talk about today is changing sound to make new words. And this is kind of like word ladders, if you've ever seen anything like that. But start with simple words like a simple word like hat. Ask them to swap a sound to make a new word. Change h in hat to b. What's the new word? Bat. Change a in hat to ah. What's the new word? Hot. And then for the ending sounds, change t in hat to What's the new word? Ham. And then keep going. Try new words like sun to fun, top to tap, and pen to pin. Grade level recommendations are just that, guidelines. Every child progresses differently. Second graders and beyond can strengthen their skills with more advanced phonic patterns like digraphs, blends, and tricky vowels. As children learn to hear sounds and words, they're also listening to and reading stories and poems, building vocabulary, and understanding how books work. These early skills are essential. Skipping them or assuming they've already mastered them can lead to reading gaps that affect accuracy, fluency, and their comprehension. When these skills are solid, you'll have a strong, confident reader. Boom.
Does your child need support with reading? Maybe they fit into one of these situations. They could either be not reading yet, struggling to learn to read, and maybe they're in 3rd and 4th grade and they're still behind. If any of these sound like your child, let's talk. Together, we can figure out the best way to support their reading journey. To get started, simply book a call with me. During this call, we'll discuss your child's specific needs and decide if my program is a good fit. If it feels like the right match, we'll schedule an individual skill assessment to pinpoint any gaps. Based on the results, I'll provide you with advice on how you can support them at home and help guide you in choosing the next best step, whether it's one-to-one tutoring tailored to your child or engaging group sessions. Let's change your child's reading story starting today. Book a call using the calendar link below the video, and together we'll set them up for success. And thank you for listening until the end. As promised, I've linked the Early Reading Skills Guide in the comment below the booking link, and if you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you.